Hello, blessed and beloved jewelry community. Welcome to this tutorial number 14 for 3D jewelry design with Blender. Thanks for subscribing, liking, sharing. My name is Damien Rohrbach. Website is ATELIER LAUSANA.design. Today, in this tutorial number 14, we're going to create a man's sport ring or something similar. So this is the last intermediate level tutorial. The next ones will be advanced tutorials. So this means that the more I go further in the series, the less I explain, for obvious reason that is the only way to start creating more complex designs and learning better tricks. Okay, so let's let's bring in a this is fun. Where is the okay, there you go. Okay, let me just check something. Okay, very good. So let's bring in a diamond append. Let's go for this video number 3 gemstones. So obviously at this stage you must have the gemstones. You can buy them from my Blender market. The links in the description. Or you follow tutorial number 3 and you've modeled the gemstones, obviously. There's the diamond. Okay, so this little diamond, let's bring it at 1.5, copy paste. Let's put it in the center, I guess. Okay, now let's save. Let's save video. Okay, let's create. That's video 14. English Blender. There we go. Video 14. Save. Okay, so that's the little diamond. Okay, I'm going to bring I'm going to use a curve first. This one is going to be a D. So I'm going to create letters. They're going to be the reference for the size of the ring. I'm going to use my initials, obviously. And then on the sides, so we'll have a pavé with the letters at the top, and on the sides we'll have a star with also a pavé on the sides with like a shield shape border. Okay, so that's the concept, that's the idea. All right, now let's go to edit mode. Okay, that's the reference, but anyway, Well, let's first create the letter. So we're going to go, oops. Okay, so let's draw this. So obviously it's funny when I say that the more the more I do advanced tutorials, the less I explain. So many people say that it should be the other way around, but in fact that's based on years of experience, teaching experience, because it's based on a very simple fact that we learn more observing than, well, we learn more by observing than anything else. So and by now you should really know what shortcuts I'm using, because that's also what I'm showing using Blender, that we always use the same shortcuts, at least in what we're doing here. Obviously we're not making animations and that for the moment. Maybe later I will. Wait, okay, so that's my D. I don't like the size yet. But anyway, it's always the same shortcuts, because that's also why I'm showing that without any add-ons we can create really good jewelry using Blender, even high jewelry without any problem. Okay, let's change the resolution to 80. And this is a bit better. Okay, obviously I want, well, that's just a reference for the letter. It's still a bit too, okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. From the D, I don't know, this guy, maybe this guy. All right. Okay. So that's the concept. Oh, sorry. Don't like the shape. No, not yet. And well, also the thing is that designing is a learning. Really, learning design is a very hard task, and teaching design is, well, I would say it's, on my side, I say it's impossible to teach design. People never really get the concept. Somehow people have that feeling. I would say that designing is a feeling. If you have that knowledge of good design, requires a very extended knowledge of many different fields outside your current field. We're designing jewelry, but the more knowledge you have behind the jewelry field, generally the better you'll be at designing, because it's it's really hard to learn and to teach design because design is technical and artistic at the same time. And most of the people have very special skills, or on the technical side, and it's exclusive. It means that or you're technical or you're artistic, because these are the general mindsets that nature seems to bring to life. And so it's not very common that people are able to, well, you know, because they say left side of the brain, right side of the brain. I don't even know, because I really don't care what side of the brain does what. For me, it's just one thing. There's no separation between the two. So maybe that's why I see things differently. But that's what I've seen, that because I've been teaching to so many people. That's also my luck, because that's also my experience at the front line of the battlefield, teaching every day. Okay, that's my D. And I'm not even sure if I like it yet. All right, let's copy the diamond and put it somewhere like here. So I'm going to copy the curve. Letter. So that's a bit the problem about learning and teaching design, because you need, well, first you need that kind of skill that your mind must be very comfortable with technical and artistic things. And generally that's a problem, because some people are very good at math, for example. Some mathematicians are very artistic and creative, I'm not saying, but generally they're, you know, you can be very logical and have no skills for creativity at all, or very limited skills. All right. Okay, so this is going to be converted to mesh. The only thing I want to see is, okay, I have too many points. So before I make it a mesh, let's undo. Let's bring it at maybe what, 32. Let's try 24 even. Okay, let's go to mesh at a lower resolution. Okay. Now I'm going to take this until here. Okay, sorry. Control E. And that's where I want the diamond there also, just to. Okay, that's a good reference. Okay, nice. So I have that. Now I'm going to erase these. Okay, now let's go here, E. Obviously I will adapt later on these curves here. Well, let's start already. And I'm not using any font, because obviously you can go and use the text and do the letter and all that. But the fun is almost the same, because I want stones in my letter, and also because maybe many people don't know that, and they don't care about that. But many fonts are registered, and very heavily registered. So that means you're not allowed to use fonts like people do. They get them for free, but you can't really use them for commercial designs. They're not yours. So anyway, I don't recommend that. So that's one side knowledge point. Fonts are registered, and for the right reasons, because many famous fonts are very famous and they're very pretty, because designing a font is not easy at all. As you can see, making letters is not an easy task. Okay, so that's one reason. If I'm going to make the jewel, I want to use my letters because I don't want any copyright problems, especially when you're known worldwide and that your jewel get manufactured and sold at least at a national level, and then some designs are manufactured in other countries and sold in other countries. So yes, I want my own fonts. But anyway, if I was using another font, I would anyway have to work on it to modify the letter for the stones, and also to adapt it until I get a shape that has nothing to do with the initial shape, once again because of the copyright. But many people don't really care about copyrights, so, but like I always say, that's their problem. You should care about copyright, especially if you're a designer. If you don't, you'll never really get very far. And that's that's also the ugly side of the design world, because you must be thinking about copyrights, brands, marketing, and all those things that are not necessarily so glamorous and funny, which is all the legal aspect of our field. So that's why also I was saying that the more you know about anything, the better it is for you as a designer. And I get the question so many times that what should I learn to become a 3D designer like you, jewelry designer, all that. It's very simple. Learn jewelry making. I think I say that almost in every tutorial now, but because I get the question almost every day. And it's always the same question. People just don't listen, I guess. Well, they don't listen. We know that. Men and women, and don't worry about. All right, let's continue. Hop, extrusion. But this time I'm going to make SX, I guess, a bit there. All right, so obviously this side is not so happy there. Let's move it here somewhere. Okay. So every time you're creating something of your own, really, you should know that it always takes more time when we're creating something new instead of using the same assets that everybody uses. That was always my plan, creating new designs. I don't care about using assets that are already available, because, well, for obvious reason, people are already using them. If something is free, people are going to use it. It's obvious. So if everybody has access to it, well, obviously I'm not interested, because I want access to what people don't have access to. And creating new things is one of these. Well, it's one way to do that. So when we are doing something new, well, many times we don't even know what we're doing, but that's okay. It's really nice because it's part of the trip. And that's also why I really like to take my time, which for many people is losing time because it's slow and they say time is money. Well, sorry sir, time is nothing because time doesn't even exist. And if you're pressured by time, then you're a slave of time, and if you're a slave of time, well, you're a slave, no matter what you say. You might be a slave to time, and then you're a slave to money, and being a slave is never a good thing for anybody, nobody. And actually we must train to free ourselves of any kind of slavery, and believe me, there are many kinds of slavery. And yes, many people are slave to time and slave to money because they believe they are going to run out of time and run out of money. Well, it's funny because you can't. You can try. You can try to lose. But life doesn't want you to lose. Life wants you to learn and understand your true freedom. And that sometimes requires dying and reinventing yourself. Okay, we're progressing a bit here. I still don't really like this side that much. Oh, sorry, let's go this way. Okay, there. I want this side to be a bit, I guess, bigger. Well, obviously it will all depend on the general shape of the letter. So maybe this tutorial will extend over a second part. Sometimes that happens with my tutorial. It will be the first time in the English series, but well, must happen at some point, because obviously, as you can see, this is not so fast, and this is not even the ring. This is just the first letter, and we'll have an R, but obviously will be based on the D. But anyway, I will have to do the entire same process. No, maybe not. Maybe I will be able to use some parts of the D, but I don't know that yet. Because also, as many of you know, might know, should know, many of my tutorials are not practiced at all, which means I'm doing this live and recording this live. Obviously, I upload this later to YouTube, but generally there's almost no edit to my tutorials, and no preparation. I just have the general concept or idea of what I want to do during the tutorial and teach during each tutorial. And I have a vague idea generally on what tools I'm going to use. Generally, I know pretty well what tools I do want to show, because that's the point of the tutorial. But anyway, many tutorials just have like a design goal, and my goal is to achieve that specific jewel, exactly like I said at the beginning. So, and many decisions are taken during the tutorial, which is more interesting for me because I like surprises. I like good surprises. I don't like bad surprises, obviously. But it's a way to keep me motivated to make these tutorials, because I also want to try some aspects or variants of my own process during the tutorial, to try new ways to design what I design every day. Okay, so well, and that's why I'm sometimes not taking the easiest or fastest way to achieve something, but like I already said, generally I don't need that. I don't care about that, because what I care about is more problem solving and creative ways of problem solving. And also because this makes that my tutorials are closer to what our real work is, because if I would be doing exactly this, a new jewel for a new client, and when I take new clients, I really like taking new designs that have never been done before, or are variants of things we've done, but it means that I must start from scratch, from ground, making the new design for that client. And that's why the client comes to me, because my clients know that I create these designs for them, and they want something new. So even the way to do it shouldn't be the same as always. And that's what I say to many people: you should be changing the way you do things almost every day. And well, I know that's really not happening, because people love doing the same every day, the same routine, the same design, the same little jewel with 1, 3 stones, and sell that, and make an entire catalog online and sell online. Now that's a jewelry business, but it's so boring. It's even so ugly sometimes. So obviously that's one of the worlds I come from, because obviously my teacher when I was, and also when I was an apprentice, I was working in a jewelry. In my master, well, was always very worried about business and making money and all of that, like a good human being that must be worried about money all the time. Like I said, it seems that we must be slaves to money. Money, money must be funny in a rich man's world, you know. But anyway, okay, so there's obviously not much interesting going on at a technical level there with Blender. I'm just moving vertices, you know, one by one. But actually I love that. I love doing that. So you might find that very boring, but that's your problem. But anyway, you shouldn't you shouldn't jump too much during the tutorial, because suddenly I will be doing something else. And that's why I know, because people, well, they've told me, they tell me that my tutorial format is very good as it is. I tried to change it even when, well, I've been doing tutorials for a couple of years now. Well, I don't know, 3 years maybe, and many are in Spanish. So also already in Spanish they were saying that my tutorials are very good the way they are, even if they're long, slow, and even if I talk a lot about things that have totally nothing to do with the jewel or with the 3D jewelry design or with Blender even. And sometimes I want to change that because I thought, well, my tutorial could reach more people and get more views and more numbers, you know. I was like worried about the numbers, but no, because like I said, we shouldn't be slaves to numbers. And social media, well, that's changing. That's changing a bit. All right, let's try to make this bigger here. Let's try to bring this here because it's going to, sorry, this one. Anyway, let's go on. Moving vertices one by one. That's 3D designing. It has been so for decades. Many people don't know that because they see the new softwares, you know, 3D sculpting and all that, and there's no vertex showing up in these softwares at all. Under some processes, depends how you're modeling. But yes, many people don't really care about that. Okay, ES, but this time we're going to go smaller. SY bit. Okay, so as you can see, and I already said it, I'm taking my time. What some people don't know is that while I'm doing this, I'm evaluating many things about the shape of the design and what's going to be then. So yes, I do believe in future, because what I'm doing while I'm doing this vertex by vertex so slowly is that I'm thinking about many things that are going to come after this. And that's part of my process. So it means that I really go slow on purpose because, well, it's like when you're driving. If you drive too fast and want to look at the landscape because maybe around you while you're driving there are many interesting things that you could see and learn from. Well, if you're driving too fast, you won't be able to see these things. You're going to lose that. So obviously, if your goal is to get from point A to point B as fast as you can, well, that's nice. Buy a Lamborghini and hit the gas, which is fun to do. I mean, sometimes you have to do that. Just, I love really driving really fast. I love that. But, and in life it's the same. It's really the same. Sometimes it's easier to stop thinking and just do it. You know, that phrase is also very good. You know, it simplifies a lot of problems. But sometimes it's better to slow down. And you know what? I don't know if that's a bit better. Yeah, sometimes it's better to slow down. Almost like it's better to, yeah, to just, or even to stop, you know, just take some steps back, stop, look at what you're doing, but thinking about what's coming then, and say, okay, this is going good, you know. And then you get the nice part of doing that is that you get really reassured. You get a lot of confidence about what you're doing, because, well, you need to train for that, obviously, to complete that process many times, because then you know exactly where you're going and that your design is growing harmonically the way it should, because you're taking every aspect of every curve into account, and you're really creating and developing something that's worth doing, and not just on a material level. That's one of the main problems I have during teaching, and also not just during teaching, is that, well, many people, they're just doing this for money, and like I say, that's okay, but they don't even realize that then they're slave to money. And I know many people are following my tutorials because they want to make jewelry business, to make jewels, to make money. And like I said in other tutorials, well, that's okay, I understand, it's good for you, you gotta make money and blah blah blah. But then you don't realize that you're just a slave to money. And if you never stop and think about what you're really doing and why you're really doing that, you will be a slave to money your entire life, and you will die a slave to money. So some people say, well, you have to live somehow. Yeah, but also you have to die somehow. And maybe, and okay, that's all based on what's after. That's what I say to many people, and they just laugh because they think it's just ridiculous. But we don't really live, well, the way people live is more based on the way they think of death. Many people are, well, you know, carpe diem. Enjoy life now. Don't worry about then. Well, that's where the problem starts. That's really where I think the problem starts. Because in fact, also many religions, or not religions, sacred texts, philosophical texts, thank you, sir, well, are speaking about what's then. And well, many people don't like to think about that, but I always say, well, you should, because that will determine the way you live. If you think that there's nothing after, well, then you're right. It doesn't matter what you do now. Do whatever you want. There's nothing then. There's no consequence. You won't go to hell. You won't go to paradise. You won't go anywhere. You won't be, well, there will be nothing then. That's death. It's the end of life. But I have a problem with that concept, because I really, well, lived several times in a way that really made me feel that I really should take into account that there might be something then, I don't know if there's something, but the problem is that I think nobody knows. Some people say that they went and came back, and you know there are many stories from ghosts and all that. Okay, that's something else for me. So, but anyway, we don't really know what's then. So that's why it's really nice, because it's all based on our belief. And believe it or not, that affects my way of designing and my way of working, because that affects the way I live. So obviously that affects everything I do. So I don't care if you're learning to make money, that's good for you. You have to make money and make money. That's good. Every human being in life at some point must make money. But then also take into account that many human beings at some point in their life are going to ask themselves, well, what is it all about? And they might notice that making money, well, is not so good after all, because many people discover, and many sadly discover that too late, that making money might simply destroy your life. Too bad. That's too bad. And that's why in some way, as a teacher, I try to explain to people before it's too late that it's not worth destroying your life for money. I mean, it's quite obvious. And then starts the problem. Well, many people just say, well, I don't have that much money. If I don't work and make money, I can't live, because because I'm married, because my children, I need to buy clothing to my children, I need to pay school, I need to pay medicines for my grandma, I need all of that. And okay, that's okay. I understand. I'm not here to solve your life and just to tell you, well, it's going to be easy to stop being a slave to money. Because if it was that easy, well, less people would be slave to money, obviously. And I wouldn't have to speak about this issue as an issue. It wouldn't be an issue. But apparently it is, because every day I get questions about, well, how can I make money? But I keep saying the same, is that making money shouldn't be your goal, because it's not a goal. It's not a good enough goal. And that's why I speak about things that are outside the jewelry field, because yes, all of that affects what we're doing and why we're doing it. So it's why, and that's why I compare to many things, and many people don't understand the parallels I'm doing, because they say it's not related. Well, it is related. That's why I'm saying it. You just don't see it, but that's why for you it's an issue, because if you would see the parallels between everything in life, you wouldn't have so many issues in life. You would have more harmony into your life. So, and also what I should say, to be fair, because that's important, maybe it's impossible to achieve that, what I'm saying. Because sometimes also I think it's impossible to achieve it. But at least you should try. Then that's why I say, at least you should try. You should try to, in every way you can, money or not, to have a better life, a happier life. And then see that happiness, well, real happiness doesn't depend so much. Shouldn't depend so much. Okay, there we go. Somehow with D. I want the tail to go further so I can start liking this design. Okay, now it's a bit fat there, but that's pretty nice. No, it's too fat here, and that's a problem. Here I have a little problem. This one. So sometimes it's important to undo and take some steps back. Never forget that, because like I say, that's wisdom. And a good designer should know when to undo, when to step back. Because as you can see, I just made this part thicker, and now I'm doing it thinner all over again. Well, because this part of the letter is simply not working. It's too fat now. This part is too fat. But that's related to all the rest of the design. So that's why designing is an equilibrium problem. The composition must work within itself. That's why one vertex can change, the position of one vertex can change everything. And that's too bad, because it means that we must be careful about that. Even if it seems totally meaningless and useless, it's more important that you might think. And again, many people don't believe me. I've had some generations that believed me, and I had also quite a few generations of students that wouldn't believe me. So they would quit they would just quit the course at halfway, saying that I was teaching totally useless things. And guess what? They went on to make money as a goal, as their highest aspiration. But I always say, if in life making money is your highest aspiration, you will be poor your entire life, because you'll never have enough money. It will never be enough. You can always make more money and work more. And where's your happiness there? Where's your life? And one day you'll wake up and you'll realize that, well, maybe in life there were other things I could have experienced. And again, I'm not saying that you will achieve it, because maybe it is impossible, but you never tried. In your entire life, your highest aspiration would have been making money. And then it will be too late, because your life will be behind you. And that would be just too sad. So it's nice from time to time to listen to people. Because what I'm saying is because I've talked to many people around the world, and I saw how many people live around the world from very different cultures, and there are very different kinds of humans. But when you don't move that much, you might see a very strong uniformity in humankind, in mankind. Well, I said humankind. That's better. Humankind, mankind. That's bad. Humankind. That word is totally wrong. It should be changed. Okay, humankind. I just made. I don't know. Does it exist? I don't even know anymore. It should exist. Let's call that humankind. Well, some people will talk to you about worlds that are, well, let's say, forgotten worlds, and even worlds that seem to have died long ago, where making money wasn't the highest aspiration. And don't fool yourself either. Humans weren't better before us. That's an idea I had because of my that comes a lot from European culture and historians and archaeology and all of that. I really love the history and all that. We used to go to a lot of museums. And anyway, okay, I just need to take that a bit further. Okay, let's put that guy further. Also, I could use the proportional editing, but in this kind of design, I don't want that. I don't want that, so that's why I'm not, and also because it wouldn't work that well, because I would be moving parts I don't want to touch at all. Up. So this might seem very boring, really might seem very geeky, you know, geeks like vertex by vertex, and to find that fun. Well, for many people it's hard to find that fun, but well, maybe for me, because this reminds me of very happy years of my childhood. Okay, maybe that's why it's very special for me to do this like this. I think it has something to do with that. No, but also because, like I already said, I do use other softwares for jewelry, for 3D jewelry design. And obviously, when the client doesn't have much money, I must work much faster. And yes, I do worry about time and money, but not all the time. And especially when I'm creating the tutorials, well, I don't especially want to be stressed about time and money. On the contrary, I want to worry about other aspects of jewelry making. And also because well, this is already a more advanced tutorial, so like I said, if you want to do this fast but the bad way, well, go on and take a font, any font you can have. There's 1,000 there available for free, but like I said, for free because they're not free, you don't have the right to use it. In fact, many fonts you do need an authorization, a license to make a jewel using that font. And if you don't have the license to use it, yes, you will have copyright problems, and yes, you will be sued, especially in America. And you will lose because you're wrong. You're not allowed. You didn't create that font. That's why I'm doing this vertex by vertex. This is my D for my ring. And that's what designing is all about. Okay, so I'm still not very happy with everything here, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Vertex by vertex, as in life, step by step. You know, that's why also doing things the right way should teach you to do, well, it's a mirror of real life, your life, as something bigger than you. Some people say that, yeah, sometimes you can feel in life that you're larger than life. Well, I would say rather that never try to feel that. Life should always be larger than you. Really. Because no one should be able to win. Well, no, not to win. When you feel larger than life, then maybe you should double check some fields in your life once again. I already said that a moment ago, but yeah. Because life is teaching us. So I think that being larger than life, yeah, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, it sounds like cheating rather. All right, so now this part is too short, but now I must take from there, and obviously okay, there. These vertex, no. All right, now let's move it here. Let's make it bigger here. Okay, that sounds pretty nice. And yeah, obviously the letter got way bigger than my 1.5 millimeters. See, I also have to make my English diction better during the tutorial. That's bad for you. Well, that's bad for me also, because it shows that I'm not so fluent in English. But that's, I don't know, that's, well, anyway. This is the way it is for now. I don't speak English every day, so I'm a bit rusty with some words. I think my vocabulary should be, generally it's pretty good, because I did study quite much and I did live abroad in English speaking countries a couple of times and had very nice times back then. Okay, this is very nice. And also about the letters and fonts and all of that, I was talking about the legal issues you might face. So let's say then you might fight for a fair use. You might try if you want to. And maybe you won't get sued and all that. But also there was another aspect about letters, is that many letters and fonts have been created for very special places or occasions. And those are not your places and your occasions. It means that they weren't created for you or for something that suits you, that suited you. They were not. Some examples, well, actually, I won't also do that, but just you can investigate that. These are checked facts. It's not fake news. Many letters have been created for museums, by example. There were for the name of the museum, the entire marketing of famous museums. So these fonts are, well, in fact, belong to these institutions. You know? So sometimes it's not about getting getting sued or things like that. But thing is that they're not yours. So using things that are not yours, well, won't do you so much good because it's not yours. It's like stealing. Actually, in many languages there are expressions about that stealing something will never profit you. Many people don't understand that. That's the basic. I think a child should, well, children understand that sometimes better than adults. Because generally adults that don't understand that, well, they dedicate their life to not very legal things. They might be selling things that they shouldn't be selling, or consuming things they shouldn't be consuming, but that's another subject, and today I don't want to talk about that kind of nonsense. Anyway, so all right, so here designing a letter vertex by vertex, but as you can see, the problem is not so much technical. It's more about the curves, it's more about the design, and as you can see, it doesn't need fancy tricks or techniques, and it's not about there's a way to make this faster. To do what faster? Design my letter the way I want it? No, there's no faster way, because I did this letter in 2 minutes. It's not better if you do it in 1 minute, 10 minutes, or 10 hours, or 1 year. Being slow is not a bad thing, because it's not about that. It's getting things done the right way. Sometimes it will be fast, and sometimes it might take years. We don't know how much time it should take. So people are always impressed. Lady Gaga made a song in 1 minute. Good for her. But that's not even true, and she said that. That book was written over 1 night. Well, that's cool. It's nice. So obviously, yes, it might be talking about the great skill of somebody, you know, because they're fast. Okay, sometimes at professional levels, yes, it will be important. Like I already said, yeah, sometimes it's going to be important to be fast. But also that means that you're not independent. When you need to be fast and pressured by time that much, well, I'm going to remind you that you're then pressured by something that's not you, and that your client is pressuring you, and that you're not independent. You know, deadlines. And yes, professionals must be good at delivering on time, but that also means that if you're still working like that, and that you're pressured very strongly by deadlines, well, then again, you're not so independent, and you never talked about that, let's say with your client also, Because let's say what happens is that my clients come and they want engagement rings. Well, generally they come month before they get married. That's how it should be, and generally that's the way it is. Because other way, if the client is pressured to get his engagement ring, well, there's something weird. There's something off. You shouldn't be pressured by time when you want to get engaged, I think. You know, it's a bit weird. But yeah, sometimes there will be pressure, sometimes there will be deadlines, sometimes there will be very short deadlines. Because yes, sometimes I do get clients that come now and tell me I need the jewel in 2 hours. Can you make it? Well, luckily, as a good jeweler, most design can be done in a couple of hours. So yes. So yes, that's a huge pressure, and I live that, and I think maybe I got to the point that I lived that too many times. So that's why maybe I've changed. I tried to change to avoid that kind of deadlines. So that's why I'm saying I understand the time and money issue. But you should also understand that you might try and fight to free yourself from such pressure. Because, and I learned that from other people, because they would invite me, other professionals, and would say, I make that much money, I just work 3 days a week. And I was like, what? How much you make? And what? You work only 3 days a week and you make 20 times more money than I make working 24/7. And that was back then. That's why I learned and started thinking there's something I'm doing wrong. And mostly it's because we're thinking wrong. But that's why you need to know that there are other ways. And yes, there are people making a lot of money without working that much. Many people think that the more you work, the more money you'll make. Well, problem is that's generally your ignorance, because that's not true. I know many people that work, well, I knew me. I would be working too much. And, well, for what? Really, for what? And yes, sometimes maybe I was making more money, but I wasn't happier. And, well, that wasn't that good. So, okay, I don't care. But I'm just talking about that so some people might start thinking about that differently and say, you know what, why is he saying that? But yeah, that's why, because some people do listen, and yeah, some people listen and they change their lives because they hear people talking about how they work, and they work differently, and they think about money differently and about life differently, and that you don't need to be a slave to money all the time. Oh, wait a second. Okay, there's one vertex here. Okay, look at this. When one vertex, okay, let's go to global coordinates. One vertex moved off, no, not only one, should be 0. A couple of vertices I moved wrongly. You know what, let's try everybody there. I don't think it works. Yeah, it doesn't work. Why did they move? Too bad. Too bad. Oh, that's not, that's, well, how many are they? No, it's not too much, it's almost nothing. Ah, no, okay, I'm gonna leave it like this, doesn't matter. Because this I will just extrude. Okay, that's the D. And yeah, it's 1D, it's pretty cool. I like it now pretty much. Just don't like this part. I'm going to keep it a bit wider, I guess, here. Just a bit wider. Okay, that's D. This took 1 hour. This took 1 hour to make. Well, I lived it like 5 minutes, really. For me, it took 5 minutes to take this. Obviously, the timeline shows that it took 1 hour, but I lived this like if it was 5 minutes. So that's why I always talk about time differently. Because also what I was saying during this hour, I think was worth mentioning, because it's part of well, what I said about the letters and the copyright and the licenses. You really should look into that, because many people just think that they can use any font any way they want, and that's just wrong. Okay, so that's 1D. That's 1D. So now I want an R. Well, anyway, this guy, I'm going to copy it again if anything goes wrong. And you know what? Wait. All right. Okay. Right. I copied that one. So I'm going to extrude this guy somewhere like that. How big is it? 2. That's too much. Let's go at 2. Yeah, let's go at 2 millimeters thick. Let's go at shade smooth but normal. So smooth. Okay. All right. Now. Well, obviously I will make the diamond bigger, or the letter smaller. No, I will make the diamond, or I put more stones in the. How big is that one? 29. 3. Yeah, it's too big. No, that's not too big. For my finger, it's pretty good. This finger is I have very large fingers, so it's okay. I will make the letter smaller and the stone smaller. All right. An R. Let's move forward. Faster, sir, please, faster. Let's move on faster. We need speed up here. And the more I say that, the slower I go. Okay, I am going to cut this just half here. Now I'm going to take this here. I'm going to copy it, Shift D. I'm going to flip it 180. And I'm going to move it. All right, that's already moving forward faster. The problem is that this should be larger here and rather here. So let's take that and that guy. No, sorry. Use these two guys, SY. Now the rest, these guys, SY. All right. AS, because I don't. Are we? Why is that so big? All right, I'm going to move this here. I don't know if I want it at the same level. Yeah, maybe. Shift D, I'm going to copy this part right there. Okay. Then, yeah, we're okay. Wait a second. I'm going to take one section here. I'm going to take this section here. There. Should be smaller here, or there we go. I'm going to move this section here. S. All right. I don't like that part that much here. I might change that on the D also. Now, all right. So here I might subdivide this. Yeah, I'm going to wait. No, just this KHP. Okay, let's subdivide this. So yes, many times I've seen that, well, not so good designers, generally they're not so good because they're going too fast. That's what I was going to say earlier. Because they want to use, that's why they want to use very automated softwares and procedural tricks and things like that, you know. They want to use already built assets from library softwares and all of that. And many softwares, expensive software, they come. And also many people tell me to use some add-ons for Blender and all of that. But what they don't understand, and that's why I repeat myself, but yeah, many people also are understanding now why I'm saying that and doing this differently, because they can see the results, you know. Even it's slow, but it's not slow for just any reason. It's not slow for bad reasons. If you're really listening to what I'm doing now and why I'm doing it. So I said the main simple reason to go to professional reason is that I need letters to be of my own copyright. So I need to be designing letters. I can't use letters that are already made because they're not mine and I don't have the right to use them. And it would even remove value to my design. And that's what it does. And that's why people that don't really study design the way they should and don't understand these aspects of designing, well, just never really progress in the design field. That's as simple as that. All right, that part is too. Okay, so this part I'm going to remove. Okay, now I guess I'm going to take what section to take? I'm going to take just a section here. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, yes, correct. Okay, 6. I want to make this like that. Now I need to move this a bit. Okay. All right. All right, Alt A. Okay, we have that. Okay. Maybe this side shouldn't be so long. No, it's too short. All right. Okay, that's a bit better. I still have a couple of problems here. All right. Now what? Here. See this section here. All right. Okay, where I va, it's going on pretty well. Still don't like it that much, and that's pretty good. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Let's go here. Let's keep the same process. All right, here. No wait, what's up? Okay, I don't care. I need to also here. I'm just going to subdivide this to follow the curve a bit better. All right, so well, basically this video will be all about the letters. It wasn't planned like that, but I think it's interesting because I really explained many aspects of professional designers, or how to say that, or the professional designing experience. So the aspect of time, the aspect of money, and the legal aspects also about the letters that many people just don't. Well, many don't know about and many don't care about. That's another problem, because now that you know, you must care about. Okay, I'm not done. Obviously here, I'm not done. I'm going to take these guys this way. And I'm going to start adapting this side. And this side might be good enough like that. Let's try. Won't be so. Yeah, it might be so easy by the way. Because this just gotta come here. That's not too bad. We'll see about that. But also that helps you see how long it takes to really create something, develop something, and well, there's not much of another way. The other way would be to do that in a vector software, but it would be very similar. Might be a bit faster, and then I might export it in SVG and import it to Blender. I do that sometimes. It's very easy to do that. Okay, here I'm going to remove this face. All right, I'm going to come back here a bit. I'm going to go further here. I'm going to take these guys better. But that's different. And also when you take the time to do it like this, well, I already spoke about that, but there is an aspect of a better understanding of every aspect of your design. And again, for many people that doesn't matter, you know, because they just, well, I say they vomit designs, and that's not designing. Okay, that's pretty nice there. Now this segment, let's see. Yeah, vomiting designs. That's what they ask to their, well, I understand when you own the business, you need to make numbers, you know. I had employees. I lived that also during several years. I've been an employee, obviously 20 years ago. Then I started not being an employee, and then I was a boss. I've been a boss for many years also. And yeah, that was the fun part also. You know, stages of life cycles. That's why cycles is called cycles. The cycle of life. I don't miss those years that much. Sometimes having employees, it's too much pressure, exactly, because you need them to make the numbers, and you need to lead them to that. And then you're a slave to numbers, slave to time, slave to money. And yes, that's when I start thinking, I'm a slave to my own business. Wow. And that's why it was like being in jail somehow, because I could not leave the business. I had to feed the monster every day. That's not so cool. So then I discovered Blender. No, it's not true, but Blender did help quite much about the story on how Blender came to life, you know, and I find that amazing. And that's when I started, well, thinking, well, there are other ways. There are. It's just that they're not, people don't talk about that very much. And what? The free software? How do they make money if the software is free? You know? All those kind of questions. Alright, I still have a huge problem here on that side. But well, there it was, the story of Blender and the free software. So it wasn't the fact, I mean, when I discovered Blender, I already had licenses to very expensive software. And I'm talking legal licenses. So for me, it wasn't about making money or making more money. It was working less and making the same amount of money. But then also I started working with very big companies, and well, it all changed. But well, the story of Blender, there you go. It's a very good example that things can be different, and that's what interested me, obviously attracted me, but not so much because I mean I was already a 3D pro at that time for many years. So for me it wasn't about using a free legal software. I already, like I said, had access to legal licenses of very and more efficient softwares than Blender in the jewelry industry. So for me, it wasn't that problem. But the thing was that how can be such a good software be free? And what's the story of the people behind that software? And there it is. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because inspiration, when you see that people have other ideas, then you get also other ideas, because you see that you really can, you're allowed to have other ideas, you're allowed to live differently. I mean, who's going to tell you what's right, what's wrong? Well, me, I'm going to tell you what's right, what's wrong. No, but don't. Generally, I don't say it like that. I mean, like I say that I speak the way I speak, and people take what they want, what they can. But like one of my teachers, one of my French teachers in high school, was a very good teacher, because he used to say, and he was totally right about that well, he was referring that when you want to analyze a text, well, that's what he was referring to. But then I started using the same thing for my entire life. Okay, it was all about that. It's all about the questions you make, because when you make a certain question, you're gonna get some kind of answers. So if you change the questions, you're gonna get another kind of answer. So many times it's not about the answer, it's more about the questions you make to the text, to the author, to what you're reading, to yourself, but then again to yourself. And if you bring that to your entire life, many times what you're going to live, it's more going to be not about the answers you're giving, but more about the questions you're raising some kind of questions. And that's where many people fail to understand the problem, because they always make the same kind of question. How much does it cost? How long is it gonna be? You know, like I was saying, always the same perspective inside the question. And they don't even notice that. First is noticing that aspect of what you're doing. You're always making the same questions. How much does it cost? I sell many things. And with my clients, with some clients, I've learned many things. You have clients that come to you, they never ask you how much it costs. They just don't care. They ask, how is it made? Why is it made? Well, that sounds very interesting. That's a better question. Well, better. First, it's a different question, but I would say it's a better question. Why do you make the jewels you make? How do you make them? You know? But also especially, why do you make them? All right. Yet, why do you make them? And they never ask how much, because obviously they have way enough money and they know. Okay, sometimes it might be wrong, because then you say, it's that much. That's very rare. Generally, people that don't ask about how much something costs, it's because they have the money. And that then money is not an issue. Okay, so I learned that with, then not my students. Yeah, sometimes also I learn many things with my students. But with clients also, you can see, because they make different questions and their preoccupations are very different. So okay, like I say, you're allowed to make the same questions over and over again, but what I want you to notice is that dictates your entire life, and you might not even know it. And not knowing actually is your fault. There's a legal concept that nobody is allowed to ignore the law, and that's the same in life also. And that's weird, isn't it? When you do something wrong, when you break the law, you can't say I didn't know. You can't say. You can't say it. You might try, but the judge is going to laugh a lot. Or not. He won't laugh much, maybe. He's just going to tell you, sir, you're a citizen, you're a responsible citizen. You must know. And that's the same with life. You must know. It's not a valid excuse. I didn't know. It doesn't work like that. You must know. And that's why we can study. There's an easy way of studying, which is listening to what people tell you. Because yes, some people do give good advices, wiser advices, wider, also wider, you know, wider, deeper, because it's all about that also. And also because if you read the story of what's around you, well, then you might start noticing that, well, the world is not all the same and that people are not all the same, even if I will tell you that yes, there are many similar people. We tend to repeat ourselves much that we should. Sadly, there's not so much variety in there, in fact. But anyway, that's another subject. All right. And I'm saying all that just designing 2 letters, and it's obviously very slow. So the fun, I think the interesting part of this tutorial is not much about moving vertices, but at least it might show you that sometimes there's no other option. It's all about, well, that's like I said in other tutorials, 3D designing is much of the time moving vertices. It's what it is. It's the core of the design. It's the smallest unit, the vertex. Okay, it's pretty. You see, I think it's pretty. The thing is to obtain to. I'm starting to like it pretty much, but I want to rotate this a bit. Okay, so this side, I need obviously to adapt now. Okay, all right. So yes, the questions you make. Once you start asking other questions, other type, you know, with questions with other goals than just getting a straight answer. And sometimes you don't even have to find an answer, just raise other questions. A good question raises other questions. That's what opens your mind, opens the way you work, thinking differently. Because otherwise, what might happen, like now during this tutorial, for those who left the tutorial, well, too bad for them. Is that what I'm doing is not really so interesting, I know. But what I'm raising while I'm doing this, well, that's something different. I think it's worth it. Well, at least for me, it's worth it. Because obviously, while I speak, I make my mind clearer. So and I'm raising other questions for myself also through my work. And that's what it must be. If you're working in such a way that you don't need to raise new questions, like I said before, you're always doing the same process, well, then you always get the same answers. And you will be bored your entire life, because you can't expect other results if you always repeat the same process. And that's the same with the question. If you always make the same questions, you can't expect new answers. So if you're always asking, how can I make more money? How can I work faster? Why are you not using add-ons? It's faster. And all of that, which I don't care about. That all these questions I just don't care about anymore. Well, you will always get the same answer, or you won't even get an answer, because like I said, it's not about the answer. It's about the questions. But yes, I did explain why I'm making these letters one by one without any tricks, just vertex by vertex, because I need customized letters, and I think I need letters of my own. Okay, that's nice, but it's too big. Too bad. Let me see. I think I need to remove one level here. Now wait. Okay, so obviously we're getting somewhere now, and we're getting there for the good reasons, as you can see. That's why speaking is not so bad, because we are getting somewhere for good reasons, for the right reasons. And yeah, that's why I think it was, for me, it was very important to see the story of Blender and the people behind Blender, because then I started making things differently also, because I started making new questions around me and to myself. So, but that's all about how you get somewhere. How do you achieve something? And many people don't think it's relevant on how they achieve something, as long as it's fast and easy. Easy and fast, and makes a lot of money. And that's all they care about. But the funny part is that generally they don't last very long. They always end up the same. I won't say how they end up, because that's not my problem, but yeah, generally they all end up the same. And men and women, and doesn't matter. Easy come, easy go. It's a natural law. Even in the 3D business. And much in the jewelry business, believe me. I've seen my share of people, designer wannabe, some students that just would believe that they knew better than me, than their teacher. Yeah, that's also, well, in many cases, there are exceptions, obviously, to all I say. But generally, people who think that they know better than their master, well, they end up like Anakin Skywalker, basically. It's too bad. With much rage and frustration. And that's sad, because Anakin Skywalker had, well, was a big promise to save the galaxy, wasn't he? But yeah, I don't recommend you taking the path of Anakin Skywalker. Okay, we have an R and a D. All right, so this guy, I'm going to, okay, this is no R, this is R. Here we are. Okay, that was made in 1 hour 45 minutes, which is, yes, it is laughable. It is really laughable. It's the least efficient process you could see in a tutorial, really. Oops, what have I done? A, E, I want 2. Okay, perfect. Now same here, smooth. Oh, there's something weird there. There's a face inside. When you have things like that there, well, that's a beginner thing. But if you don't know that, well, you can go crazy over that. It means that you have a face inside the mesh. There you can see, I need to find, or we have a normal problem. No, but there's a face here. There's a face here. I just need to, no, that's more a normal problem, I think. Let's see. No, here there's a face. Is there? Okay, first, or a normal problem. No, flip, no. Okay, normal, outside, please. Okay, or the normal problem. But sometimes it's because you have a face inside the mesh, because you made a face and then you extruded it, and it's inside the mesh, and you just won't see it anymore. So, all right. R and D, D and R. So that was some special tutorial. I'm going to make the R bigger, I think, because I think I want the R to be, I don't know. But anyway, this was some special tutorial, because it took me almost 2 hours to make 2 letters. But all I said surrounding these letters should change some things. So I know I said at the beginning of the tutorial that we're making a ring. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to start the base of the ring. So I'm going to join these 2 guys and just call them letters. There you go. And I'm going to put the geometry at the center of that, and I'm going to center the letters somehow. That's pretty good. Okay, then they're too big, so I'm just going to make them 2 centimeters, 3x. Yeah, that's why maybe that's not too bad here. It's not too bad. 1.5. It's pretty big, but like I said, it is a man's sport ring type of body for the ring, which is going to be big, obviously. 3, 2. No, it's pretty okay. Let's actually just go at 16.2 and copy the proportion there. Here, this we're gonna keep at 2. Okay, that's pretty good. That's good. All right. Now the body of the ring. So let's start just to make a 2-hour tutorial and have something that resembles a ring, you know. So I achieved the goals, you know, because that's what I said, that we must achieve the goals. Okay, I'm going to use this. How big is that guy? Let's go at 3 for this. All right, so I want to subdivide subdivide. I want to subdivide, but just each side a couple of times. You're gonna see why, because I want the squaring, but I want the square to be like a cushion, you know, not just a plain square, because it's more interesting. And it looks better. And yes, like always, it's a more interesting design to make. All right, so now, okay, let's see. I know, you know what? Let's just take, no, sorry, just the corners. So now I'm going to start. Let's make the corners smaller, like that. And now let's take the second level vertices here and make this a bit smaller. As you can see, I'm already getting the shape I want. Okay, I'm going to put it a bit, I know, that's perfect. The letters are already a bit inside. Okay, so that's the main shape. Now, well, I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to call it shape. Right. Well, that's the original. Obviously, the copy. Well, again, shape, ring. Let's call it body. This is the body of the ring. Well, okay, that's good for that. So let's go to edit mode, and now I'm going to start. I'm going to extrude. Yes, I'm going to move it a bit higher. So there we go. Here we have a face, and I don't want this face. So let's press only face. I just want the edges here. Okay, that. So I'm going to bevel directly as I model the ring. Here, I'm always going to give it a small, well, not a small angle, a quite strong angle, rather said. I'm going to put angles here and there because I want to bevel the ring along the way. All right, then S here, S, no, oh wait, what did I do? Redo, okay, here we're good. E, now there I want an angle like that. Around there we'll have more stones, and maybe we could I think okay, I'm going to put some letters there. So in fact, wait a second, I'm going to do a double border. Yeah, let's make a double border. Okay, here. I don't wait, not done. Okay, I'm going to create a border here now. Because yeah, you know, like graduation rings, you know, university rings, college rings, sport rings, Super Bowl rings, all those kind of rings. They have the center with the logo, stones, colors. Then they have stones all around the center. So there I will be putting some letters. Maybe not so big, because that's also fun to show how that gets done, because it's a classical thing. We want to, you know, you want, well, I want to show you guys how to do that. So that's the level that get stones or letters. For fun, I will be okay there. I will be putting letters. Well, like I said hours ago, that will be in the second part of this tutorial, because this tutorial will have a second part, because, well, I took forever making my 2 letters, but I think it was worth the work. and yeah, because that was for special reasons. All right, here now. Okay, I'm going to go out for a second, so I'm in the front view. Add a Bezier circle, you know, for the ring. So to the view 9.1, which is size 8. I know for me. Okay, actually my size. I'm going to do it my size. So I need a. You should all know this. This is to check the. I'm going to check the size. I don't know the size of this finger. How much? No, it's bigger. It's bigger here. So let's check the size. That's too small. Okay, so that's 10.5. That should be 10. Okay, it's a large ring, so I'm going to do it at 10.5. So let's go and check the. Let's go here. So let's go at ring size chart. So I need a 10.5. So I'm going to check different tables. 10.5, 10.5. Wait, this one doesn't even have 10.5. 10.5 American. Okay, 10.5 diameter. It's 1996 on this one. So check a couple because they don't always have. So 1996, 10.5 diameter. Wait a second. Do I have diameter here? No, this one doesn't have diameters. Very bad. This one. See, look at this. Here we have 20.2, and the other one has 19.96. That's a huge difference. That's a very huge, big difference. That's not good. 10 is 2. Okay, 10.5, 203. Let's check another one. Yeah, 220. Yeah, that's so as we can see this is more correct. 20.2. So let's go back to Blender. 20.2. It's 10.1. Let's enter this guy. And wait a second. I know, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, so as you can see, the table of the ring is already huge. But yeah, I remember that. But it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And I'm going to adapt the design. So I'm going to make it pretty high. But we're already at 4. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, let's make this because this is the bigger part. The biggest part should be at 3. Let's go here. That's a bit more decent. Then I will check with the letters and the stones for the rest of the ring. Now let's continue with this. All right, so let's make this like that, and I'm going to continue modeling the ring with different levels because I want some things like that. Okay, here I'm going to bring the same size right there. E. So, okay, we have this, pretty cool. But this one, no, this one is going to go bigger already. All right, now I'm going to keep doing this. All right, here it's important. Now I'm going to start. First was the table, you know, the ring. Now it's more like the body of the ring. So I'm going to make a lot of, well, more divisions. And obviously on the side, it's totally wrong. But I worry about the side view later. So now I'm just extruding this way along. And I'm going to do it just straight at first. Then you'll see how we'll fix that. Well, you should already know how to fix that. Here we go. Here we go. I especially want one when the finger ends. I want, well, just passing. And you know what? There's something weird about the center of all this. This is not center. I don't know why. Okay, I just center it now. That's okay. All right, let's go here. Let's go there. All right, so here we're gonna do an F and we're going to do an S. Okay, let's do an S and let's start. Well, now I'm just going to worry about the front and make this circular, or the more I can. Okay. So I'm just going to worry about the front view, okay? So that so it follows the circle somehow, right? And obviously at first it won't be that good, like everything, but but it's going to get better, obviously. So I'm going to go at the middle here. I'm going to start. So now I'm just going to come, let's say here. All right. So obviously when we'll go to the side view, this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be something of a horror show, but it's okay. We'll fix all of that. It's just two views we need to okay, and again I could use the proportional editing and all that, but I don't even want to worry about that now at all. All right, I'm going to make the ring not so high now. I'm going to go there. So I'm going to take all this way downer, let's say here, I guess. I'm going to take a couple of guys here, A. Let's see again here, right. So from there, okay, let me check. Okay, obviously this is really fun. This is just a cube ring, but that's not what we're going to keep at the end. Obviously, I think I'm going to. I don't know if I want another border. Oh, maybe let's keep like that. Okay, that's the front view. Yeah, it's the front view. Okay, let's keep on. Let's keep like this. So it's better to put quite enough levels if you want a good resolution, and so you can avoid using then the subdivision modifier. It's a bit better, honestly. So then also the shape, I think I'm going to go for a trapeze shape. Brilliant. It's just a cliche. Anyway, stop doing bad jokes. All right. All right, let's see what can we do here. Well, that would be all these guys. X then. B S. A. Okay, that's going better. Then on the side, yeah, maybe then on the side I will make something not so straight. All right, so as you can see, the shape is coming slowly but surely. So obviously we have the circle as a reference. It's a pretty good reference, and enough of a reference. Okay, there. For the front view, that's already pretty good. Maybe this guy just a bit smaller here. So maybe even at the end you want to add even more subdivisions. I could use the knife, but I think I made enough divisions for that part. All right, okay, that's cool. Obviously the normals, and that side is totally wrong because sometimes I used S and sometimes I used SX. So I have just chaos there, but that chaos will be okay. So now also we need a mesh. Anyway, just normals outside. I keep the same. Anyway, okay. So front view, that side's pretty good. Not a okay. On this side, now on this side I need something important is that I need to use only SY to make it thinner there, so I don't affect at all the front view anymore. That's important. Okay, so let's work on these levels, well, on all the levels in this direction. Let's just also see, let me see one thing. I want to get, all right, so from that level, this one, that's where I want to get. Okay, that's good. That one, okay, that one I'm going to keep. Those two I'm going to keep like that, I guess. And then I'm going to go with a smoother Y shape for the side, and also because of the weight, the table. No, you know what? No, I think I'm going to go sharp also straight on the side trapeze. Yeah. Yep. It means this. I'm going to keep that for a stability question. When I make the ring, I need it to be, if I make the lower part too thin in a Y shape, it's going to move too much, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I want a steady ring, or a steady man. Here we go. All right, looking good. So as you can see, sometimes I took hours to make 2 letters, but then the body of the ring I made in a couple of minutes. That's the way it goes, and that's why it's not well, it's better if you follow the entire tutorial, because then you get all the fun to see that, because that's the way it goes. Sometimes things go slow for things that maybe shouldn't take that much time. Maybe you'll be very fast with the letters, and then you'll be slow with the body of the ring. I was very slow with the letters, but yeah, I'm way faster with the body of the ring. That's the way it goes. But also because the body of the ring, I've done this shape many times, so well, it's not so new, it's not so original, it's pretty common shape. I know this shape, I didn't have to create it that much, so my mind can just take many shortcuts, you know. It's not so artistic. Okay, here we go. Now here I'm going to make a couple of adjustments. So it's always on the y-axis. Well, if you get that wrong, it's not so bad. You can pretty easily correct it again from the front view. And okay, we have that. Perfection. All right, there we go. So it's still not so straight. I will have to correct one or two levels then. Okay, let's go here. Let's have a look at that. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. The only difference is that I need this level here. Let me go back there. This guy there. All right. I think it's this level. Okay, that's nice. No, sorry, just on the x-axis. SY. I'm going to keep it smaller there and also smaller here. Yeah, that's. Oh wow, what happened there? Okay, see there? That's why I said this level. I used the S key and obviously got damage from the front view, but that's very easily corrected. Okay, we have this. That's pretty good. Now we're going to take the. Okay, so that's the ring size. I'm sorry, ring. Where's the ring? I'm going to change this to Spanish. Okay. All right. So ring size 10/2. Right, let's copy the circle, hide the original. I'm going to put this one at 100. Convert to mesh. Now this is the circle, so I'm going to extrude the circle global. Let's go at 30. So now let's go at -15 center. That's even too small. So put the origin into the center. Let's make it bigger like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to take out. All right, so I'm going to change the placement of the second okay, front view. Okay, where's the circle? Right there. Not too bad, I can't see it from there. That's not cool. All right, anyway, I just want to move this a bit higher like that, and then what I'm going to do is that this level I'm going to make it bigger like that, something like that. Okay, that's pretty nice. Also I want Okay, I want some of these levels to be wider still, a bit wider, stronger on the outside, like that. So just on the x-axis. All right. It's from the front view. All right. Okay. Ah, I forgot. Okay. Downstairs here we have some weird problem. Ah, okay, you know what happened. It was selected then. Okay, here still we have this problem. This is an XY. No, SY, not an XY. Let's put this guy a bit higher. Okay. My circle is not closed. Wait a second. We need to close that. F key, Alt A, Alt Z, B. F key. Okay, that's the cylinder we're going to remove. So let's go and have a try. Let's take this guy. Okay, I need to check the face orientation. All right, the D is wrong. D is wrong. A. Normal outside, that's good there. Well, it's not such a problem now, just checking that the ring is all good. All right, first orientation here. Now let's go at smooth. Auto smooth, that's okay, that's pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, now let's go to booleans. Boom, boom, boom. H. Okay, I don't like the ring being round on this side. I don't. So this means that I need to keep this straight. Let's go there. Let's go straight. Sorry. Whoa. Wait a second. Alt A. Activate transparency, please. I want to break it. Now I don't want to break the entire ring. Now it wouldn't be so fun. Then I would be losing time. So yeah, some mistakes make us lose time. But in this tutorial, I did not do such a mistake. Like I said, it wasn't any mistake at all. When I was designing the letters, it was part of the process of a much needed process. All right, A, B. Obviously, I could put lines on the side as guides, but that's okay for today. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, but now downstairs here, B. I want all these guys to come straight down, and maybe I'm going to do that thicker. B S Y. Okay, Alt A, save from time to time. No, not this guy. B. All right, S Y. A, B. Okay, here I think I'm going to go like this. Then I will check the front view if it's not too thick, but I think it was too thin, especially for this type of ring. So I'm going back here to something straighter. Maybe I want it even straighter. All right, we have that. Okay, it's a bit better. The down part is not so smooth. Like I was saying, I might need more levels. So let's try to cut this level once more and this one more. All right. A, I want Z, B. Okay, let's go on X, just on the X side here. That's pretty good. Somewhere here. Okay, that's nice. Okay, side view. All right, S, S, Y, A, B, S, Y. Okay, here we are. Yeah, that's pretty good here. Let me check. There's still one level I don't like. Which one is it? It's this one. Okay, it's that level. Bring it higher. All right. What I could do here at the last level, it's just an inset. We can do some insets. So here, I key S, I'm going to do a couple of insets. SY, so it follows, well, let's get a bit smoother still, because it just finishes a bit too strongly there. It's not so bad, but I don't like it that much. Okay, the down, but that's for more for 3D printing, so I don't consider this so much of an issue. Very nice. Okay, so that's okay for this part of the tutorial. So like, it was 2 hours for 2 letters and 10 minutes for the ring. That's that's pretty fun. Then we'll have stones on the sides. We'll have letters around there and stones here and there. So obviously that will be part 2. Ah, you know what? Wait. What I want to do in this part of the tutorial, I want to make this hollow. So I'm going to create a shape. Right, let's create a plane. Let's bring it to the front view. I'm going to create, before we go, I'm going to make this hollow. So wait, because the letters now they're flying and I don't want flying letters. This is not a flying circus. This is a ring. That's pretty good. All right, now also I need to check where's my plane there. Okay, now thickness. Okay, we're pretty good. Pretty good. So now wait, let's go to plane there. Plane, edit plane. I'm going to erase these guys for a second. Now let's think. Inside. That would be that. I'm going to group it like this. Then E. Obviously to remove, because the weight, especially with such a big ring, we want to take that into account. All right, so this should be on the diagonal. Let's rotate this at 45 degrees. Let's move it here. So the ring has okay, now I'm going to spin this. Let's spin this 4 times, only 4 steps, 360 degrees. Let's center it, obviously, like that, and we have this. Okay, this is good from the front view, I guess. Yeah, but it's not good from the side view. Okay, well, that's pretty good. I'm going to close the shape. Alt A, let's see, B, F, Alt A, B, F. All right, now side view. So from the side, these SY, I need to cut on the inside. SY, let's cut on the inside. Okay, so this one can go further as it follows the shape of the body of the ring. SY, okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to make this level a bit smoother, and I might nothing at all. Front view, side view. Okay, but there, this level SX should come out already. I'm going to SX, something like that. Obviously, we're going to try the Boolean to see how well it goes, because on this part, when the ring goes back in, I need to be sure that the thickness is enough. I don't want to remove too much. Okay, another Boolean for my friend, and I'm going to make it hollow. Okay, that's looking good. The only thing that I might try is that hollow. Oh, wait, hollow cutter. Here we are. I might try, so let's bring it back on. Let's hide these for a second. Okay, let's hide this for a second also. I might try a subdivision, but I'm going to go for a simple or even a remesher. Sometimes the remesh, let's go smooth. Okay, so let's go maybe at three levels, and let's do a 10 factor. Okay, something like that. Maybe even 5 levels, because okay, let's go at like 50, something like that. Okay, I want to try that and bring back on the ring. Should be this one. Where's the ring now? Should ring body. Okay, that's the body of the ring. And bring back on the Boolean. All right, let's hide this now. Okay, that's more pro, as you can see. It's more convincing. Okay, we have that. I kind of like it pretty much. It's a huge ring, but that's what I wanted, a men's sport ring. The only thing I'm not so happy with is that part of the ring. So I'm going to remove that for a second. Well, no, I'm going to keep that because that's a good guide. Okay, here. These guys, I want to follow the shape more correctly like that. So I might remove the inset I made. Okay, there's also simply a problem with this, because if I go at flat, yeah, this looks better at flat. So I might change the angle of the smooth. Let's see if we can find. That's just so it looks good on screen. It's not such. Okay, 10. Yeah, that's almost good at 10, 15, 18. No, at 15 it blocks. That's because of the shape at the end, but that's a bit better there. It's because it's just concerned on that side. Okay, we have that. Let's turn back on the cutter, hollow. Now let's go for rendering filters. All of this goes away. I'm just going to hide the diamonds because there's nothing for them now. All right, we're going to use Luxcore. Okay, so for that, I just need to take the diamond because the diamond has a material there. I'm going to remove this material. So this is just to this. Now the tutorial is done. It's always very long. Well, you know, the letters. But I get the body of a ring that I wanted. Also something I don't like that much yet. Okay, on the inside, sorry. You know, it's finished, but it's not finished. Okay, Alt A. I want this border to be thicker. It's way too thin. That one and that one. Okay, and the two other levels. I want. It's too thin, so it doesn't look good. Right, and then I'm going to do just a quick render. You can leave the tutorial if you want now, because I'm just going to make this. Okay, right here. Just a render for the title of the tutorial, you know, and the posts, the tutorial. And you know what? I forgot that other level, but that's nicer already because that's thicker. So that's better for. Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Happens the same at the other level. Okay, there we have two levels. That's not cool. I need this level. That's too thin there. But the problem is that also on the inside we have that side there, and I'm going to make it here. Okay, that's too small also, like that, so that's better. And now I need to remove the top here. No, sorry. Yeah, and do that. I need to remove this. Okay, because I want this edge to be like that, and that level also is too big. Now this one is too big here. All right, so this one a bit smaller, and okay, that's nice. And I think it should go higher a bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's create a plane for the ground. So this is okay for the render. Also, I will do a very special set for the render of this ring when it's completed. So I might do a third part for this tutorial because the render. Well, I might. Generally, I do. When I say I might, is generally because I will do it. But who knows? Okay, camera here. Let's say there. Obviously the camera is blind. Let's go far here. That's nice. That's nice. Maybe a bit too far. So 40. No, 60. Yeah, 60 is good. Let's move the camera right here. All right. So let's go to Luxcore. So wait a second. Remove materials, purge all. Okay. Now I need a gold material here, but let's first go to Luxcore. Luxcore is going to be OpenCL. I want 24 degrees of bounces for that. Light tracing at 100%. Yes, my friend. 03. For the threshold, clamping will be turned on. Seed at 7. Light strategy, power. All the power. Denoiser at 88. Color management at very high contrast. All right. Now we need a Luxcore material. New material, gold. There you go. So let's go to shading at once. Let's go there. Let's go to camera view. Okay. Now let's bring an environment, HDRI, open. Let's find some image here. Which one? Well, I always use the same. My favorite. Where's my favorite? This is my favorite. For jewelry. All right, there. Now this guy needs to show me. Okay, show me. No, show nodes. Remove matte material. Let's put a metal material. Let's go here. Let's put the color. Let's put my gold color there. Here. That's way too pink. But why not? No, wait. No, it's going to be yellow gold. I might do it white though, but for the render, I prefer a yellow gold material, a warm gold material. Okay, I am going to put a, okay, so the letters also going to be gold. All right. All right, it's pretty good. And there's something weird with, there's one of the diamonds that's still showing. All right, let's go back here to that. That should be gone. All right, perfect. Let's do a cleanup again. No. All right. Anyway, camera view. We don't have any lights, so let's go put a light on. Let's go and let's put an area light. I'm going to put it a bit on the back, rotate this a bit here, a bit there, I think. Here, light is going to be power at 10,000, string 32. Okay, let's go with that for a minute. Let's see what happens. Okay, light must be downer. Let's go with 40. I'm going to come a bit more here, way more here, so the light make, okay, this. Okay, the light should be further away, still further away. Okay, that's pretty good, but now it can be, let's put a rectangle. On X, we're going to make it big, like 16. No, more, way more, 200. Okay, rotation, 0, 0, straight, like that. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's very nice. Just for that, that's a very quick render. Just for the preview of what we have. That's very simple. There's much to be done on the modeling still, a lot of stones. What I might change is, no, that's good, camera view is good. Okay, now the floor, let's put some material to the ground, material, ground. Let's go to shading. Okay, so the floor, it's better when it's glossy material here. Let's turn on the IOR for reflection, so we put like a high number, 5. Roughness at 0. Well, it's not 0, but it's close to 0. Now the color, I'm going to put something darker, I guess, today. Gray like this. Let's put the 10 IOR. Doesn't have much reflection today. Let's wait for the, okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so that was tutorial number 14, part 1. There might be part 2 and 3, I guess. I hope you like this video. Check what I said about the letters, the rights, the licenses on fonts is more problematic than you might think. That's why I created my own letters for this tutorial. In the event that I would manufacture the ring anyway, but that allows me to promote the ring much more, obviously. And it took a long time to make the letters, I know, but the body of the ring is quite interesting also. So obviously, if you want to just check the part on how to make the body, go ahead. But generally it's better when you follow the entire tutorial, because I explain a lot of things, and well, that's nicer. Okay, so my name, as always, is Damien Rohrbach. Website is ATELIER.LAUSANA.design. Take care, stay safe, be nice to people, be nice to animals, be happy, share happiness, work hard, party harder, have fun, and see you soon. Bye.